Hello everyone. I am Sarita Rawat, Assistant Professor, School of Pharmacy, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. Today we will start our next lecture of anti-asthmatic drug. This is your pharmacology lecture. So, before starting lecture, we will learn about the objective of today's lecture. So, in today's lecture, we will study about the basic introduction of asthma. What are the sign and symptom of asthma? What are the various triggering factor of asthma? And we are able to differentiate between various severities level of asthma. Then we will summarize with an appropriate treatment regimen that is used for asthma in various severe stages. Okay. So, learning outcomes of today's lecture is you are able to know about the range of drug that is used to cure respiratory system asthma and the mechanism of action of anti-asthmatic drug. Then you are also able to know about the clinical application, side effect, toxicity of the anti-asthmatic drug. Then the treatment principle to cure the asthma patient. Okay. So, before starting the lecture, we will just go through the respiratory system, what organs are involved in the respiratory process. So, as you can see in this image, that the most important organ is nose, then lungs, that involved in the exchange and inhalation of oxygen and the exchange of gases. Okay, so because of this mechanism we are able to like breathe properly. Then the organs mostly involved is nose, larynx, trachea, bronchioles, then lungs, left lung, right lung, diaphragm, then alveoli, pharynx, nasal cavity. So these are mostly the organ that involved in your exchange of gases. Then the when we talk about the basic respiratory system, so the human respiratory system is a series of organ and which is responsible for taking in oxygen and expelling the carbon dioxide. The primary organ of the respiratory system are lungs, which carry out the oxygen of which carry out exchange of gases as we breathe in. Okay. Now, when we talk about the asthma, okay, what is asthma? So, asthma is a non communicable chronic lung disease. It is characterized by the following features like airway inflammation, airway obstructions, mainly due to the muscle spasm, which is associated with the mucosal edema and that is strengthening of the mucus. So, airway hyperreactivity to aerobiological irritants. So, these are some clinical manifestations that is like characterize the drug and they characterize the particular asthmatic disease. So, when we talk about the asthma, so it is a common chronic disorder of the airway that is a complex and characterized by variable and reoccurring symptoms like airway obstruction, bronchial hyperresponsiveness, and are underlying inflammations like it required immediate relief of the bronchial obstruction and bronchodilators with the use of bronchodilators for the removal of excessive bronchial secretion and the reduction of mucosal edema so that a person can easily breathe in and breathe out. Now, the another term we have is bronchial asthma. So, what is bronchial asthma? So, it is a respiratory disorder which is characterized by wheezing and difficulty in breathing due to increased resistance of airflow in the alveoli or small airway. Okay, so now the most common chronic condition in children cause of school optimism is asthma. So the when we see the morbidity and mortality rate of asthma, so it is when we compared about morbidity and mortality. So mortality is highly correlated with the poverty and the urban area quality and urban air quality, then indoor allergens, lack of patient education, and inadequate medicinal care. About 5,000 deaths annually occur due to asthma. Now, as you can see, this is the normal airway of us. This is normal airway of a healthy person, and this is the airway of a asthmatic patient. So it is, as you can see, this is the swollen airway with the full of mucus. So this is the difference between basic normal airway of a common human and the person who is suffering from asthma. So the airway of that person is look like this. Now, what are the incidents of asthma in the whole world? So the incident of asthma has steadily increased in both developed and developing countries. From 1970 to 2000, the prevalence of asthma has increased 61% over the last 2 decades. So, asthma is leading chronic illness among children, as we already discussed. Asthma result in 10 million lost school days and 3 million lost work days. Death from asthma have increased by 31% since 1980. By first year, 26%, 1 to 5 years, 51.4%, and more than 5 year, 22.3%. So 77% of asthma begins in children less than 5 years. Now, what is the etiology behind asthma? So, when we see the host factor, so we have genetic factor like genes predisposing to ear hyper responsiveness and sex. So, when we compare in male and female, so more in males, so it has a 2:1. So, we can see asthma condition is more likely to be seen in males when we compare it with females. Now, what are the environmental factors that are like responsible for asthma? So the first is allergens. Allergens, indoor domestic mites, furred animals like dog, furred animals like their furring like animals, dog, cat, mice, dog and cat. We also the domestic animals. So and then cockroach, and we have fungi, molds, yeast. So these are the indoor allergens that are responsible for asthma. Now, when we talk about the outdoor allergens, outdoor etiology behind asthma, so pollens, fungi, molds, yeast, these are most common example of outdoor environmental factor that trigger to the asthmatic patient. Now, infection. So, infections is also a etiology behind asthma. So, when we talk about infection, so predominantly viral in 40% of children. So, then next is seasonal asthma. So, seasonal asthma is also a type of asthma which depends on like a particular season. Okay, so season variation of asthma attack is experienced by 35% of children. And then the next is diet. So certain food also trigger like peanuts, egg, and wheat. Then sensitization to allergens, pollutants, particularly environmental like tobacco smoke, mosquito coil smoke, spray, perfume, and many others. Then the respiratory viral infection is also responsible. Then psychological factor, then drug like aspirin and beta blockers. So these are also like triggering factor, we can say, or etiology of the asthma. Now, types of asthma. How many types of asthma we have? So when we talk about the type, so it depends upon the patient condition, like if the patient is very like small, or it also depend upon the occupational like where the person is working. So allergic asthma, like in extrinsic asthma, we also called it extrinsic asthma or allergic asthma. So when the symptoms are induced by the hyperimmune response to the inhalation of specific allergen. So type 1 immediate hypersensitivity reactions is the basis of the IgE. So it is the allergic asthma. It is the cause behind the allergic asthma. We also called it extrinsic asthma. The next asthma we have is intrinsic asthma. So this is non-allergic based asthma. This type of asthma is triggered by the presence of irritant in the air that are not related to the allergens, and the irritants stimulate parasympathetic nerve fibers in the airway, causing bronchoconstriction and inflammation. So this kind of intrinsic asthma is not based upon any environmental factor, but it's based upon the a pathophysiological functions. Okay, so in this what happened, the irritant stimulates the parasympathetic nerve fibers, which later cause the bronchoconstriction and which cause the inflammation. Then mixed asthma. So mixed asthma is the combination of both allergic and non-allergic asthma. So this is the most common form of asthma. Now, cough variant asthma. So we have cough variant asthma. This does not have the classic symptoms of asthma such as wheezing and shortness of breath. Instead, it is characterized by the symptoms of persistent dry cough. So in cough variant asthma, there is no like wheezing like symptoms or shortness of breath like symptoms. Only the symptom shown is the persistent dry cough. Then excessive induced asthma. So it affects the person during physical exercise. Okay. So exercise induced asthma is commonly caused by whenever a person go heavy physical activity, or like they walk, they run away, or in gym persons also. So this kind of asthma is seen in like these people. Now, nocturnal asthma. So nocturnal asthma is characterized by the symptoms that get worsened at night. Those who suffer from nocturnal asthma can also experience the symptoms any time of the day. So nocturnal asthma is basically the symptom get arisen in the night time mostly, but it's not like that ki the person did not suffer from the symptom in daytime. They can occur in the daytime also, but most frequently the symptoms only arise in the night time. Then occupational asthma. So occupational asthma induced by triggers that exist in the person workplace, inducing textile fumings and woodworking. So occupational asthma mainly like happen in those people, those people suffer from the occupational asthma who are working on textile industries, framing industries, farming industries and woodworking industries, where some particles came into the breathing systems. Now, what is the pathophysiology behind asthma? So, asthma is a complex condition where interaction of genetics and environment occur, involving many inflammatory cells which release a wide range of a variety of mediators. These mediators act on the cell of the airway, leading to smooth muscles contraction, muscle hypersecretion, plasma linkage, edema, activation of cholinergic reflexes, and activation of sensory nerves, which leads to amplification of the continuing inflammatory response. Then, the chronic inflammations lead to structural changes, including subepithelial fibrosis and smooth muscle hypertrophy and hyperplasia. So this late process is less easily revised than the acute change and might end up with the airway remodeling. Now, as you can see, this is the flow chart of the physiology behind asthma. So, first is asthma trigger factor, like trigger to the particular person, then the inflammation and edema of the muscles membrane occur. Then, after accumulation of the tenseous secretion from the mucus gland, then spasm of the smooth muscles of the bronchial and bronchioles. Then decrease disease the sliver of the bronchioles. So this will combinedly occur the asthma. Okay, so this will combinedly make a patient asthmatic. Now, what are the clinical manifestations behind asthma? So, when we see the classical manifestations are dyspnea and wheezing and cough. So, the episode of asthma usually begins with the child feeling irritable and increasingly restlessness, nocturnal cough, and breathlessness. Asthmatic child may complain headache, feeling tired, and chest tightness. So these are some clinical manifestation or symptoms of the asthma. Then the when we see the respiratory symptoms, most in wide area, a wide range. So reoccurrent cough. So the person suffer from very chronic cough, or like mostly in the day and night time. Then post-tussive vomiting, vomiting after a bout of coughing. So when a person mostly suffer from asthma, okay, so it like cough more rapidly, and the cough later convert into the vomiting. So it occurs mostly in the 5% of cases. Then abdominal pain rarely occur due to overworking of expiratory abdominal muscles. Then chest pain in the present rarely, and other combined conditions like allergic rhinitis, sinusitis, serious otitis media, and eczema also seen in the respiratory symptoms as in the patient of asthmatic. Now, shortness of breath, prolonged expirations, wheezy chest, cyanosed nail beat, and dark red color lip that may progress by the time to blue. So these are some common respiratory symptoms that are seen in any asthmatic patient. Now, what are the diagnoses we have to cure the asthmatic patient? So when we talk about the history, so has the child had taken an attack or recurrent episode of wheezing? So it has high pitched whistling or sound when breathing out. So we can ask the patient about the history. Then, does the child have a troublesome cough, which is particularly worse at night or on walking? Or is the child awaked by coughing or difficult breathing? Does the child cough or wheezing after physical activity like games and exercise or excessive crying? Then does the child experience breathing problem during a particular season? So these are the common history we can ask to the patient. Those are likely to have asthma. Now, physical examination. So we have to look out that, like if the patient is suffering from dyspnea, expiratory wheezing, accessorily muscles movement, difficulty in feeding, talking, getting to the sleep, and irritably to cough or eczema or allergic rhinitis. So we can check out the patient if they are suffering from these particular common symptoms. Then we have a chest x-ray. So chest x-ray is not needed to diagnose asthma, but it is needed only when the diagnosis is not clear or any complication are suspected. So then only we can go for X-ray examination. Then, what are the medical management to cure asthma? So, firstly, we have oxygen. So, when we talk about the oxygen, so give oxygen to keep oxygen saturation level. If it is, we have to take it more than 95%. In all children with asthma who are diagnosed oxygen saturation less than 90%, or whose difficulty is in breathing interferes with talking, eating, and breastfeeding. Now we also have some pharmacotherapy, like we for quick relief we can use for acute attacks to relieve bronchospasm as and when needed, like salbutamol, terbutaline, adrenaline, and aminophylline. Then preventers we also used, like used long term to control the inflammation and to prevent the further attack in that patient. So we can use steroid, oral and inhaled steroid like prednisolone, then theophylline. Then we also can use long-term symptom relievers. We can use to relieve bronchospasm for longer hours. So we have salbutamol, formoterol, and bamitrol, and always use with the inhaled steroids. Now, if the method of delivering salbutamol are not available, give a subcutaneous injection of adrenaline at 0.01 ml per kg or 1 ratio 1000 solution up to a maximum of 0.3 ml. That is measured accurately with a 1 ml syringe. If there is no improvement after 15 minutes, repeat the dose once. Then, what are the magnesium sulfate? So, we also can use magnesium sulfate to cure the patient. So, intravenous magnesium sulfate may provide additional benefits in children with severe asthma that is treated with the bronchodilators and corticosteroid. So give 50% magnesium sulfate as a bolus of 0.1 ml per kg, that is 50 mg per kg via IV route or in over 20 minutes. Now, we also have oral bronchodilators. So, use of oral salbutamol in syrup or tablet is not recommended in the treatment of severe or persistent wheezing. It should be used only when inhaled salbutamol is not available for a children who has improved sufficiently to be discharged home. So dose is age 1 month to 2 years, 10 mg per gram, maximum 2 mg, up to 4 times daily, age 2 to 6, 1 to 2 mg, to 4 times daily. So this is some common dosing of oral bronchodilators. Now, when we talk about the triggering factor of asthma, so triggering factor of asthma includes pets, exercise, pollens, bugs in the home, chemical fumes, and cold air, fungus spores, then dust, obviously, smoke, strong door odors like someone is using strong perfume, then pollutants, pollutions, then anger also, like it is psychological, psychological characteristics, and stress. So these are some common trigger factors of asthma. So when we talk about the allergens, dust, mite, mold, spores, animal dander, cockroaches, pollen, indoor and outdoor pollutants, irritants like smoke, perfumes, cleaning agents are mostly the triggering factor for asthma. When we talk about the pharmacological agent, so beta blocker already involved. Then physical trigger is exercise, cold air, distilled water, and sulfur dioxide. Then when we talk about the disease comorbidity, so GERD, GERD, viral and bacterial infections, and URI and rhinitis. Then psychological factors also like stress, anger. Then what are the goal of asthma treatment? So, the common goal for treating asthma is control chronic and nocturnal symptoms. So, firstly, to treat asthma, we have to control symptoms first. We have to maintain their symptoms first. So, maintain normal activity, including exercise, prevent acute episode of asthma, maximize ER visits and hospitalize, minimize need for reliever medications, maintain near normal pulmonary functions, avoid adverse effect of the asthma medication. So we can definitely go for some breathing exercises. We do not have to go the area where the asthmatic like symptoms is triggering, like in the polluted area, and we have to calm ourselves like physiologically, psychologically, and we do not have to do like excessive exercises. So these are some common asthmatic treatment goals. Now, treatment of asthma. So global initiative for asthma includes 6-point plan for treatment of asthma. So first is educate patient to develop a partnership in asthmatic management. So the patient can like make a partner with any of their homemade, so who can like take look after their management of asthma. Then access and monitor asthma severity with symptoms and report and measure of the lung function as much as possible. Then avoid exposure to the risk factor, establish medication plan for the chronic management in children and adults. Then establish individual plan for managing exhibitions. Then provide regular follow up and care of the medicine. So they have to go for proper regular checkup to the to the doctors, to the physicians, like what is their condition now, if they are improving day by day or not, like this. Now these are anti-asthmatic drugs. So when we talk about anti-asthmatic drug, we have categorized them into six types. So first one is bronchodilators. It includes salbutamol, terbutaline, samitrol, ephedrine, Bamutrol. Then we have methylxanthine. So methylxanthine include theophylline, aminophylline, doxyphylline. Then we have anticholinergic. So anticholinergic further divided into two categories, bromide and leukotriene antagonists. So bromide include ipratropium bromide, tiotropium bromide, and leukotriene antagonists include zafirlukast and mortilukast. Then we have mast cell stabilizers. So it includes sodium chromoglycate and catotafin. Then we have corticosteroid. So it is further divided into two categories. So first one is systemic hydrocortisone and the second one is inhaled. So we have systemic is prednisolone, beta-methoxsone, and in inhalation we have budesonide. Okay. So now in anti-IgE antibody, we have a omalizumab. So these are some anti-asthmatic drugs that are used to cure asthma. Now, when we talk about in detail, so a short-term relievers used to relieve of acute bronchoconstriction, it include beta-adrenergic antagonist, methylxanthine, and antimuscarine agent. Now, beta-adrenergic antagonists include drug that induced on both B1 and B2 receptors. It includes ephedrine, ephedrine, isoproterenol. Then we have B2 selective drugs like albuterol, terbutaline, metoprolol, pributerenol, bitrol, salmeterol, and formoterol. Now, next category we have methylxanthine. So it includes theophylline, thromboin, caffeine, antimuscarine agent like apitropium. Now we have long-term controller for the reduction of symptom and prevention of attacks. So it includes corticosteroids, leukotriene pathway antagonist, inhibitors of mast cell degranulation. When we talk about the corticosteroid, so it includes prednisolone, hydrocortisone, beclomethasone, trimaclone, fluticasone, budesonide, and mometasone. Now, when we talk about leukotriene pathway antagonists, so we have Zalutron, Zafilukast, Montelukast. When we talk about the inhibitor of mast cell degranulation, so we have Nadicromyl and chromium sodium. Now, what are the guidelines to treat asthma? So we have a particular guidelines while we are treating asthmatic patient. So in case of mild asthma or mild episodic asthma, when the symptom appear once daily, administer inhalation short-acting beta-2 agonist at onset of each asthmatic episode. And in the case of seasonal asthma, provide the individual chromoglycate inhaler for the season for 4 to 5 weeks. Then continue short-acting beta-2 agonist inhaler for the attack of asthma. Then for the chronic asthma, then administer the individual with low dose steroid and then with chromoglycate. When the patient is all right almost, then treat with short acting beta 2 agonist inhaler. So this is some common treatment guidelines for asthmatic patient according to the episodic asthma and seasonal asthma and chronic asthma. Now, what are the nursing measurements to cure asthmatic patients? So, when we see the management of asthma include education, environmental control, evaluation, emotional support, and regular follow-up. So, when we talk about the education, so the nurse must spend the time to clear the misconceptions about the disease, sexual biases, non-communicability of the disease, fear of inhalers, steroids, etc. Then, when we talk about the environmental control, so it is the most important factor in the control of asthma. So the aim should be to avoid the allergens and irritants. So dust mites, avoid carpets, use of plastic covers to pillow and mattress, then exposure of sunlight once a week, wash soft twice periodically, and wet mop to the flooring. Then, when we talk about the cockroach, cover garbage and unused food containers so that cockroach didn't appear in your homes. Then, fungus, attend to dump walls, have good ventilation, and clean the shower utensils weekly. Then, pets, keep them away from sleeping areas. If possible, outside the house, avoiding strong outdoor smoke, mosquito coils, burning, and especially tobacco smokes. Now, evaluating respiratory status and patient general condition. So, it frequently assessment of respiratory pattern like cyanosis, breathing sound, vital signs, and variable functions of the patient. Then, providing emotional support to the patient. So, calm and quiet approach, trusting relationship with patient, reoccurrence of asthma, so manage the reoccurrence, play and recreations, parental preparations, participation. So provide them some proper support by physically and like mentally, tell them they are fine, like they can be taken the drug properly. Then like posturing. Okay, so comfortable sitting positioning. So how can we cure them by positioning? So comfortable sitting position and support with pillow. Learning forward with support may be allowed. Administrating oxygen also. Then administrating fluid therapy. So how can it like happen? During asthma, they take less fluid, vomiting, and insatiable loss due to hyperventilations. Maintain input and output charts. Then maintaining adequate dietary intakes. Clear liquid in small amounts. Allergic food to be avoided. Spicy gas forming food to be avoided, and balanced diet to be taken. So whenever any person is like suffering from asthma, so we have to take care of their like dietary intakes and maintain their food balanced diet, and spicy gas forming food have to be avoided by the patient. We have to check that if the patient is allergic to a particular food, so we do not have to give the food to the patient. Now, minimize of the hygienic measures. So we have to take care of the hygiene of the patient also, like routine hygienic care, proper washing, cleaning of the room and the person also, and washing their clothes properly. Then dust and allergen free environments, that no pets are going around the person who is suffering from asthma, and then make them free, allergen free, and aseptic techniques, so that the dust particle will not like move around. Then supporting parents and family. So most importantly, the emotional support we have to provide the patient, their family member, their parent, their partners can support the patient person who is suffering from asthma. And patient participation in care, discuss the treatment plan, like we can make a treatment plan to the patient, like you have to take this particular drug at this time, and we also can help them by reminding their dosing. Then we have to give them health education, like you have to take care of this particular thing so that your triggering factor not occur again. And we can support them emotionally as well as by participating in their treatment plan. So this is all about asthma. So in asthma, basically it is very important that we have to give the patient supportive measures, so that they feel very secure and very we can say very secure and good, that someone is with them in treating that particular condition. And we can take care of their hygienic conditions and their particular health conditions, health measure. We can provide them a particular treatment plan, so that they can go through that, and they can easily, what we can say, easily come out from that. Like we can say the ultimate humoral and cellular medication of airway obstruction are common to be both atopic and non-atopic variants of asthma, and hence they are like treated in the similar way, and we have to treat them very carefully. And okay, so this is all about your asthma and treatment measure of asthma, and the nursing measure of asthma. Now we have quiz. So in quiz we have concluded the 10 questions, and which is related to this particular lecture, and you can go through these questions, and you can easily answer them while going through the whole lecture. So the question included: asthma is a chronic respiratory disease. Is it true or false? What is the cure for asthma? And how long does an asthma attack last? And asthma, you have to feel it, occurs when the asthma symptoms become worse than usual. What cause an asthma attack? The body poor exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide describes. Asthma can be cured, so it is not serious and nobody dies from it. Then an asthma attack can be triggered by getting mad. Have you missed any work or school days due to shortness of breath? Asthma is the leading cause of long-term illness in children. When does it usually show up? So these are some common questions. You can easily go through this lecture and then easily answer these. We can check it once. We can just revise whatever we have learned today so that we can easily go through our answers. So we have start with what is asthma, and it is not a communicable disease. Then what is the common definition of asthma? What is bronchial asthma? Then what is how the normal airway look like? What are the airway look like when any person is suffering from asthma? Then what are the incidents of asthma? So as you can see, the less than 5 years children, the asthma seems more. Then what is the etiology behind? So the male suffer from more from asthma as compared to female. Then what are the environmental factors? Then types of asthma. So we have intrinsic asthma, intrinsic asthma, extrinsic asthma, mixed asthma, and cough variant asthma, exercise induced asthma, nocturnal asthma, occupational asthma. Then we have talk about the pathological measures of asthma. So we have seen the asthma, how what is the pathology behind asthma. Then we have seen clinical manifestation of asthma. Then diagnosis, how can we see that a person is suffering from asthma or not? So we have to check out the history of the patient, then physical examination, chest x-ray. Then what are the medical management to cure the asthmatic patient? So when a patient is having less than 90% oxygen saturation level, so we have to go for oxygen therapy. Then pharmacological therapy, we have quick relievers and preventers, then long term symptoms relievers. Then we have seen the triggering factor of asthma, so like exercise, pollen, bugs in the home, and chemical fumes, cold air, fungus spores, dust, smoke, strong odors, pollutions, anger, stress, and pets. So these are some triggering factor, and we have already learned about the in detail knowledge about them. Then we have seen the goals of asthma treatment and treatment of asthma. What are the six global plan to treat asthma? So there we have 6 points to treat asthma. Then we have seen the anti-asthmatic drug that we have categorized in the six category: bronchodilator, methylxanthine, anticholinergic, mast cell stabilizer, corticosteroids, and anti-IgE antibody. Then we have also categorized them according to the short-term reliever used for relief of acute bronchoconstriction, beta-adrenergic antagonist, beta-2 selective drug, then methylxanthine, antimuscarine, then long-term controller for the reduction of symptom of prevention of attack. So we have corticosteroid, leukotriene pathway antagonists, inhibitors of mast cell degranulations. Then we have seen the guidelines of treatment of asthma. Then what to do when a person is suffering from mild episodic asthma, what to do when a person is suffering from seasonal asthma, and what to do when a person is suffering from chronic asthma. So then we have seen the nursing measurement to cure asthma, like to provide education, environmental control, evaluations, emotional support, regular follow-up of the patient. Then I hope you have get your all the answer with the help of this lecture. Now the references we have taken the basic and clinical pharmacology by Bartram G. Cadgan, and then we also have taken some references from elsewhere integrated review of pharmacology by Mark Castor, Kelly Downholzer, then some of the references taken from the pharmacological basis of therapeutics by Louis Stanford Goodman. Then some of the references taken from Tripathi KDT, Essentials of Medical Pharmacology by JP Brothers, Medical Publishers, New Delhi. So you can definitely check out these books, these references for further knowledge in details. And till now, thank you for today's lecture. Hope you get a good knowledge about asthma and anti-asthmatic treatment and how to support a asthmatic patient. Thank you for today. Thank you for kindly listening to me.